it's Uppity Unicorn. I am here just with with a few facts on the issue as it regards Shenita versus Jessica. Jessica is someone who we don't know if that's her real name. We don't know if, I'm just saying this because we're not doxing her. There is no last name, there's no phone number, no address. She entered the different chats as Jessica, so we're just going to go with that. Um, so Jessica called Shanita a scammer, and Shanita said, "I have lawyers for that. You can call me ugly, you can call me big and burly, you can say I look manly, you can call me unprofessional, but you cannot call me a scammer. For that, I will sue you." And honestly, my heart goes out to Jessica because I think she bit off more than she can chew, and I think she let some words rip that are deeply consequential. So I want to get into some proof here really quickly. Um, just so you all know, she registered for coaching with Dr. Shanita, and there are over 100 people. You heard me correct me. There are over 100 people enjoying that same course right now. Right now. There are over 100 people still in those classes that I don't know if she is saying doesn't exist or if she's saying aren't going on, but the fact of the matter is whatever she's calling a scam is very much in order and going on. So my questions were because I asked around, we had people like Sassy T from the 803 come up to the panel on the Gossip Girls and talk about details of having, because she also had coaching with Shanita and she gave, rave reviews. So my questions were these once I found out what you have to do, okay, what you have to do in order to um, basically matriculate, and that's a bad word because that's for university, but basically to get your student on to get into the mode of coaching and courses with Shanita, you've got to join the Facebook group. Okay, Shanita's got a Facebook group for all of her students. You've got to do the intro for the coaching. That's number two. And number three, there is basically homework that you have to do. These are three different things that she did not do, right? Number one, the Facebook group. Number two, the intro for the coaching. Number three, the homework, or basically the prerequisites. So there were emails sent that would let you know this is how this goes, this is how that goes, this is how coaching goes, this is how courses go. This is your, non-refundable fee, blah, 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 right? She did not. So the next thing is my understanding is this: Shanita had no problem issuing a refund, even while the no refund policy was clear. But Jessica left Shanita a message saying, "Don't contact her ever again." And the Gossip Girls played that message. She said twice, "Don't ever contact me again." So she wanted a refund, but she doesn't want to be reached. So, what is significant about this, and what I was saying in the chat over there and on the Gossip Girls, is that you can end up catching a restraining order after contacting someone who has written proof of themselves asking you never to contact them again. In fact, all they really need is a witness. This is literally how I got rid of my narcissist. This is literally how I got rid of, once I found out the ways of getting a restraining order and this and this and well, the police will ask you, well, did you make it clear that you never wanted to be contacted again? Is there proof of that? Do you have that in writing? Do you have a recording? What do you have? So this woman said in the recording that the Gossip Girls played to Shanita, "There's no need for your team to contact me again, never contact me again." She like had a few words, said there's no need for further contact, had a few more words and said never contact me again. What do you do with that when your assistant, when your employee, when excuse me, Mariah is in the middle of trying to send you a 49.99 refund? What do you do with that? No, I was of the understanding that she got the refund or was going to get the refund, but then you have this interruption of never contact me again. And Jessica went to the chats of different content creators complaining, "Oh, she has me blocked. She has me blocked." Well, when you tell somebody who was running a business never to contact you again, they're going to do their due diligence not to contact you again, even if that means blocking you, because sometimes you can accidentally contact someone who was on a list serve, right? You have this big group of people. Let's say if she was in the Facebook group and Shanita sent a message to everyone and the, at all, and it, sends this automatic message to over 100 people. She's like, ah, I told her not to contact me again. You could take that to a court of law and slap someone with a protective order. If you don't know, now you know. And I say that as a person who has done that, who has gone to court, who has had the police serve someone, and I had my proof of do not ever contact me again. After changing my addresses, my email addresses, my living addresses, my phone numbers, I finally figured out the way to do that. Okay. So I'm saying that as a survivor of narcissistic abuse, it was a lifetime ago, but it still happened. So once you say that, you are legally binding the hands of Shenita Foster. You are binding her hands. And so when you get in the chat and you complain, oh, she has me blocked, and she's never contacted me again. That's what you asked for. You asked her for that, though. These words have meanings, and some of us are not as legally savvy as others, but especially when you're a woman running a business, you pay attention to this kind of language. So lastly, I would just submit the question, who scams for 49.99? And I know Tay's answer was, well, a lot of people do. A lot of people do, but not somebody on the level of a Shanita Foster or a Melody Cherie, right? And I have so much faith in Melody Cherie. I just do not believe she would submit people to us at this juncture, Kimmy, at this juncture in her life. There was a point in time where we watched Mel, I don't know, however many years ago, a half a decade at least, where she was dealing with people with those 47 acres and these different businesses where it's like they won't finish a project, they won't sign their names, they want to do shady business, blah, 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 blah. They're being sued for half finished things. She didn't want to deal with that. And she got herself away from that because it was dishonest. And now that she is divorced, not just from that man, but from that friend group, I do not believe about Melody Cherie that she would put in our face as millimeters, as her sincere supporters, somebody who would scam us. So personally, I think Jessica was, at least at first, maybe she was reasonably upset. If you have a schedule for something, she said she got an email at 11:30 at night. I'm not sure if the time zones are different. I don't recall anyone saying these two lived in the same state. I know me personally, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I am on the West Coast. The only content creator who was on my time is Empress Radio. Everybody else is like 4 hours ahead of me. I'm trying to, stay up, catch up, whatever. It's a drag, these time differences. So we also have to keep that in mind. But anyhow, like I said, there are over 100 other people in the same coaching curriculum that Jessica registered with, with Dr. Shanita, and there are receipts. There are living, breathing receipts, not just documents, but people who were just like, we went to class today. It was awesome. What you mean scam? So I personally think that there is some kind of broke Mellow hater trying to make Mel and her associates look bad out here. I really do think that that has something to do with the scandal, because it's understandable for Jessica to be upset. It's understandable. I know I get upset at sudden schedule changes. Like I really do. I take them, and I get upset. I don't like surprises. But it's when you fly off the handle and you start calling somebody with a very public name and a reputation a scammer. And she posted the definition of defamation, and it was clear. It was clear that that is what had taken place. So, again, Jessica's final statement to Shanita over a voice recording. I don't know if it was Instagram or what, but like I said, the Gossip Girls played the actual footage. She said, "Don't contact me not once but twice." And business savvy people know better than to contact someone after that. So she didn't do any of the homework, nor the prerequisites, nor the work required for coaching. Only one class was rescheduled. You guys, only one class was rescheduled. And that was, that was too much for her and whatever she was going through in life. The rest of the groups you're registered with, like I said, is still receiving coaching. There's recorded proof, and there are also screenshots. There are people who have screenshots of different things from the Facebook groups and registration that are, going around in these YouTube streets. And some of us as content creators have seen them, and some of us have not. Anyhow, um, I guess I want to state what my actual issue is. I visited South Africa and I volunteered at an orphanage called Bapfumalele in Cape Town, South Africa. I believe it was in Cape Town or KwaZulu Natal, something. And I visited Kenya, and I had like a nervous breakdown in an orphanage classroom. Um, and I gave as much money as I could, to the point where I wasn't sure if I could fund the rest of my trip, if I had enough cash to like make it back over, on the airplane and get food in the different countries that you could have a layover in. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, a lifetime ago I wanted to be Dr. Shenita. A lifetime ago, I wanted to be a missionary. I felt like I was called into the nations and to the impoverished, and Africa and Black people in specific. And although my journey has turned in a different way, I still believe in that kind of work, and I believe in what Dr. Shineda does. So if you are then going to peddle the story from content creator to content creator to content creator, where people are like, well, how much money was it? So we can give you the $50 that you lost. And then another person can give you the $50 that you lost. And then another person can get your cash app and try to raise the $50 that you say that you lost. It's like the only thing we get from telling people Shanita is a scammer is less girls having access to the sanitary napkins and the book supplies that they need to go to school. All we get is less of an opportunity to furnish and finish the rest of that orphanage. That's all we get. And I'm sorry, but when I juxtapose that, or when I put that on the scales of justice, that $50 doesn't weigh more to me than the work Shanita is literally recorded doing. We don't need to ask her, did you go to Africa? We see her in Africa. We don't need to ask her if she was in the school with them kids, because there's footage. If you go to her Instagram channel, you see all her Instagram page, you see all you need to see of her knee deep in schools that look like they don't have running water or electricity. You see her knee deep in the community. And it's a beautiful thing, and a lot of people don't have the heart for that. They don't have the patience for that. And so many of us, we say that we're heal the world, make it a better place, but when you get put in that kind of situation, you're just like, it's too many fucking flies over here, bitch. I get blink. What is this? I'm not gonna eat that food. Hell, these little kids got kwashiorkor. I don't want no parasite in my like you. There are some people who travel internationally and they find a new version of themselves, where they never knew that they would be so irritable and so moody and so just nose high in the sky. It really takes some semblance of humility to do the work that Dr. Shanita does, and I know that because I've done it, you guys. I know that because I've done it. And I ain't done nearly as much as her. I don't have nearly as much, skin in the game as she does, but I've done it. I've been muddy, y'all. I've been dirty. I've been, behind dusty mountains and in orphanages, and like y'all, I've done it. The HIV positive kids and big kwashiorkor bellies, and y'all, I've done it. And my personal issue with this is that you would rather defame that woman, like you done already. Last I checked, Mariah, and I believe she is some kind of an assistant of Shanita. Last I checked, she was trying to give you the refund, but when you said don't contact me, don't contact me, you tied their hands. So I'm not sure if the refund actually passed to you or if that ended it. Because first of all, it was very, very clear that the fee was not, it was a non-refundable fee of 49.99. It was a non-refundable fee of 49.99. And everybody else knew it was a non-refundable fee. It was not something hidden. It was not hidden from you. And even still, with the fact that it was non-refundable, they still reached out to you. and the recordings are out there. Your voice notes are out there. Your Facebook messages or your IG DMs, whatever it was where your voice is recorded. And even the coaching sessions are recorded. So for people who are unsure of why voice notes are going around, I need you to understand that, the coaching itself is recorded. These interactions are recorded, obviously for quality insurance purposes. Damn it. But as adults, we have to be able to say, I don't like how she do business, so I'm mad and I don't want to do business with her. And fuck, I lost my 50. That could have been a unit. I could have ordered me a outre wig, or a sister wig off Amazon. I could have got me some what they call it. I could have got me one of them niches, one of them niche wigs. I could have, you know, like I get it. For somebody like one Tay Talks, $50 ain't enough to do her eyelashes. But for somebody else, that's a whole look. That's your whole makeup haul at the drugstore. So, I get it. But when we start frivolously throwing these words around like deceiver, liar, scammer, Shanita is not cut from the same cloth as something like a Scott. Okay? Far from it. Say you don't like her temperament, say that you don't like, her stately presence. Say that then. But don't say scammer to a person on a global scale, doing the work of a diplomat basically, and then coming onto the internet and touring from content creator channel to content creator channel, peddling the same story. Like I said, I think the woman we are going to refer to as Jessica, I think she's a well-meaning woman. I think she is probably temperamental and she's at a place in her life. I mean, just to be seeking coaching in your life, that is like seeking therapy. And that's something that you praise a person for. When a person seeks to invest in themselves in that way, that's like somebody going to college. Like when people are willing to make that self-investment, and to do the work, like even if they just sign up for it, like you have to look at them and their intention and be like, I see you trying to clean up some stuff. And in some of the recorded messages she said, I've gone through narcissistic abuse, I've buried family members, or something to some effect. Something was going on with her. She said, I oh Shanita, I hope whatever's going on with your nephew works out, because Shanita had a family emergency and had to cancel a course. She had to reschedule a class, and then she was like, "Oh, well, I'm able to do it, so, we'll go ahead and do it." And I guess she didn't like "Are we going to class? Are we not going to class? Are we going to class? Are we not going to class?" And she was like, "Just give me my money back." And it's like, "Well, even though this big fat non-refundable policy is in your face, we're gonna try to do that for you anyway." But then you leave the messages, and in the message that was played by the Gossip Girls, you could hear Jessica saying Mariah contacted me and is said she's trying to get my refund to me. But when you don't ever reach out to me again, don't ever contact me again, there's now no further need for you to be contacting me. You tie people's hands legally. And I need everybody to know that. Don't say never if you don't mean never. Don't say ever if you don't mean ever. These words have meanings. Like whatever you meant in your message, that's totally different. I mean, that you bring that to Black's Law Dictionary. Now we're talking something severe. You take that same statement and you apply it to Bouvier. Now we're talking something totally different. When you're getting in the court of legal language, there are words we use all the time that when we see them in the court of law, or when we see them in some kind of motion or document, they mean something different, and it's severe. So you really kind of got to watch how you interact with people. So I think my best advice to Jessica is to drop this. Even if your refund did not make it to you, it was non refundable anyway. And even if that refund did not make it to you, it seems that you have quadrupled in these YouTube streets with different people who have opened their hearts to you in beautiful charity, hoping to heal you. giving you money on this channel and this channel and this channel. And so if I were you, I would take that cute coin that you made peddling the story, be grateful for it, and just lock it up. Lock it up, lock it in, lock it off. Just let it die today. Let it die here, let it die now. I think we as Black women are doing ourselves a disservice to slander someone like Shenita or like a Melody or like a Winter Harrison, and I could go on. But we do ourselves a disservice. Check it. There are YouTube content creators who either I have fallen out with, I dislike, or they dislike me. But because I respect them and because I believe in what they stand for, like they may not have did right by me, but they do right by their values. They do right by their audience. I'm not gonna sit here and because it doesn't fall into play with a greater good. And the greater good is there are women in the sector who are really doing things for their community. And even if we don't, like them or get along with them or they don't like us, like or maybe we were offended by something, like it might just be something trifling. Like if it's not life altering, chances are it's just something trifling it's a trifle that you can just let go of. And as it stands, Jessica has made her money back. And my understanding is that a refund was on the way to her until she hit the people with the "Don't ever contact me again. There is now there's no need for you to be contacting me." Blah blah blah. And like I said earlier, she was in some content creators chat, like, "Yeah, she need to block me. She blocked me. She blocked me." And I'm like, "Well, if she contacts you again legally, you can put a restraining order on her, at least a 30-day temporary." As somebody who knows, I know. So of course, it happened. It's unfortunate. Let's let it go. Let's unhand Shanita Foster's reputation. There's too much that she's doing in the name of Black women, in the name of women of African descent, for us to destroy that woman. There are so many women. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but there are so many women worth. I mean, if you're gonna talk some shit about somebody, I mean, there are some very disagreeable things that Ariane Curry has done. There are some very disagreeable things that Tasha K is doing to Melody Cherie right now. There are some people who are doing some out and out disagreeable black and white. It's wrong, objectively wrong things out here, but we wanna decimate the possibilities in the career of somebody who is from nation to nation, changing our situation as black women. I don't like that. I think it's a little cheap. I think it cheapens it shows me I'm finding it. I don't want to veer off into saying something disrespectful or something that could come off as descending from on high to look down low onto people. But it kind of reveals to me like what your own self-esteem is and what your esteem of your reflection is. Like you didn't get your global change maker t-shirt. Guess what? I didn't get mine either. Do you know what we did when we ordered the hell out of those t-shirts? We ordered that like the way that we go to 7th Avenue and we have shut down Mel's website. We've caused her website to crash in the past. We were on TikTok and we couldn't get a hold of nothing because stuff was selling out in 6 minutes. There were these flash sales and we're just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get my little, oh wait, I gotta get my card out my purse. Let me put in my information. And by the time you finish typing your card information into TikTok, your little $5 handbag is gone. Like we know what this is like. I contacted Chinita about my t-shirt. She's like, yeah, this and this. Like she spoke to me respectfully and gave me some details and I was comfortable with what she said. So I believe that there can be some kinks and delays and things like this, but I don't believe that this is giving scammer at all. And I think that it's a nasty thing to do to the best parts of your own reflection. Okay. We as Black women, the way that we are reflected onto ourselves and onto the world, like we have to take better care of that because no one's willing to do that for us. No one's willing to do that for us. No one's willing to promote us and the light that we belong in. You got these Danny Glovers and these Tyler Perrys who can't wait to make movies and scenes with you looking like just a degenerate and a wreck and a worthless heap of flesh and bones. Can't wait to cast you as a nagging, ugly, overweight, ignorant, uneducated baby, triple, quadruple baby daddy having. Like no one's gonna take care of our image but us. And I'm sorry, but a woman who lives like Shenita, who's raised her kids like Shenita, who travels like Shenita, who makes international impact like Shenita, I want that representation. A woman like Melody, whose mother was a first lady, who grew up in church, who takes care of her kids, who had all her kids in wedlock, who is a millionaire, who has a black lady chemist, making all the products for our black lady skin, like something like I need that. I need that in the public. I need that as corrective promotion for myself. So when people see me, I want you to see me in the light of Melody Cherie. I need you to see me in the light of Shanita Foster. I don't need you to look at me and see me in the light of Sexy Red. And I'm sure she's a sweetheart, but I don't need people thinking that's the default. And that if they want to talk to me, you ever had a white guy try to talk to you and he starts talking to you about rap and you ain't listened to rap since the early 2000s? And all you listen to is damn gospel and R&B, 90s R&B at that? I don't want people to think that this is the default me. So when we have women who are getting it right and who are representing right and you do them wrong, I got an opinion about that. I got opinion about that and opinion about how I feel like you feel about yourself. I think too much of my reflection. I think up of my reflection, not down. And I'm so smitten with with the beauty of decent and righteous and worthy black women that I mean, hey. I just I welcome you to that. I welcome you to the divine feminine proposition of valuing the corrective promotion of the Black woman's image. And corrective promotion is a term that I learned from Chrissy. Chrissy is a content creator who has a magazine called DDS, Divine Dark Skin. And she does a lot of correction of the dark skinned Black woman. Um, and that is the basis for a lot of my thinking and thoughts on the subject. But for me personally, while I think the dark skinned Black woman is key and foundational, my personal perspective is just corrective promotion of the Black woman, period, whatever hue she is. We're out here looking trifling to the world. You ever scroll through TikTok and Black women are the topic of conversation and we're like, well, shit. What did we do? We were minding our black ass business, putting in a protective style, slow cooking some oxtails, pressure cooking some oxtails, you know, braiding some hair, putting our kids to bed, and we scroll all over TikTok and just random people are talking about us. Talking about, how they think our genitalia is purple or ugly or something, or how our hair and how we think and how we live. And I'm like, why are we in everybody's mouth? And it's always something nasty. But when we flood these images with people like Melanie and people like Shanita and people like Winter and people like, I mean, I could Angela Bassett, Solange, Beyonce, you. I could, I could Clark sisters, like when we flood these people with images of who we really are and the best of us. What can they really say? What can they really do but imitate? I have that kind of pride in Black women. And so when I see somebody taken apart or being trifling with people who deserve to represent us, I'm kind of taken aback by that. I really am. I really am. The unfortunate thing about being a Black American, a Negro American who is descended from chattel slavery, is that your personhood and your culture is on a global stage. Not everybody knows what a person what to call a person from St. Croix. Not everybody knows what to call a person from Tobago, but your little African American name, you're Black American, you're global. People have their eyes on you and their opinions on you. And I don't mean to minimize anybody else, but I say we have an unfair share of spotlight that we didn't even ask for. We just accidentally inherited something by being American. We accidentally inherited, I mean, I could say accidentally, but then we're also Muhammad Ali, we're Michael Jackson, we're we're a whole fucking lot. And people can't wait to belittle you and measure themselves up against you. And some people, their whole identity is based on being better than you. You wonder why we go through certain things with law enforcement. You wonder why we deal with medical apartheid. Like people have these fixed opinions of us that are detrimental to us, taking us out. I don't need to have a conversation with you about black femicide and how every 5 or 6 hours in America a black woman is taken out 4 times the rate of any other woman. It's alarming. We have a lot of work on our hands, and so that is the crux of where my issue is with this. I know some people are just like, "Oh, you like Shenita, you like Shenita." Listen, I have personal values that exist with or without Shenita, with or without her, that involve the black woman and the black woman's image, and I just don't feel like she's the black woman that deserves this thing. And moreover, it's something that's been used to be divisive among the millimeters. Millimeters are such a bleeding heart group of people. We're such a group of, compassionate people. We throw dollars. Don't nobody make it rain like a millimeter make it rain. I mean, we throw dollars. Millimeters have thrown dollars at me and my mama cancer. Child, we didn't had a biopsy and we expecting good news any day now. Any day now. But some of us are quick to this beautiful level of empathy without having all of the facts. And the truth is, people were waiting to be pissed off with Shanita because she said, "Pray for Martell." People were waiting for that. They were looking for a reason to throw her away. I didn't take Shanita's advice. I didn't take her advice. So what? She's still a woman of impact and integrity, and I think that's a nasty thing to play with. I think it's nasty. I mean that's why I feel the way I do about the Scots wives. I think it's a nasty thing to play with the integrity of women like, Miss Vanessa and Melody. These are shining stars when it comes to the essence of black womanhood. My mother is a shining star and a shining matriarchal example of black womanhood. These women are our best foot forward. I mean, some of us, even some of us content creators, we're some of us are real distinguished women. We are our best foot forward, and we don't need to be represented by the crackheads, not the sea head hoes. Like, I gotta get off here. I know when I start talking like that, it's time to go. I think Winter said something about some man's wide hips, and she was like, "Child, that just slipped out my mouth, and now I know it's time for me to go because I did not get on here to act up." So before I leave, I have to state that all views shared herein are alleged, and in my opinion, they're for entertainment purposes mostly. Low key, just teachable moments as well. So that's all I got. Ain't got no more. I am uppity, and I am out of here.